Hey, it's Charlie. Hey, today what we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to age your wood. Typically we use cedar fence boards for just about everything. Sometimes redwood, but cedar fence boards are pretty cheap. As cheap as any lumber today. But I've had people ask me, where do you get your old wood? Is that barn wood or whatever? You can see the different shades. And that is created by a process which I'm going to show you here real quick. Now yesterday, this is our newest wall. You can see here, no treatment at all. That's just factory fresh. Hasn't been treated. This is just cedar fence boards. This in the middle, exactly the same wood, exactly the same lot, but it's treated. And it takes about half a day to do it, maybe a day. And you get really good, what I call spectacular results. And here's how it's done. Here's what you do. Get yourself a garden sprayer. Sometimes you can find these for $5 or $10 on sale. Get yourself a nice garden sprayer like so. Then you get you some steel wool. Now I got two different grades of steel wool. What you're really interested in is the surface area. So this fine by itself would probably work great. So we'll just use that. Stuff it in there. Then put in regular old white vinegar. I'm going to use the whole gallon. Okay. Now I'm going to let that sit for about a half a day. When we come back, we'll be ready to go. You can do it without the steel wool, but the steel wool gives it kind of a gray coloring. If you don't use the steel wool, it'll still react with the wood and it'll still turn it into the darker hues that we saw earlier and that we really like. But you won't have that graying that you have with the steel wool. It don't take much, one little handful of steel wool in the mix, give you good results. Okay, the solution's about ready. Sprayer's ready. Start from the top down because you're going to get some runs. Runs are okay. You can use them to your advantage. Here we go. Not too far. Perfect. I know you can't see this, but you'll see it in a minute. The effects it has. And it's much better to put it on too thick than too light. I'm just going to do half the wall. And you can see the difference after it dries up a little bit. It don't take long to get the effect. And like I said before, it's additive or cumulative. It's not dark enough, do it again. Make sure you get everything, because if you miss a spot, it'll stick out like a sore thumb. And if you come back later to respray just that spot, it's going to look weird. Get it all now. I like that. Okay. Use the runs in places like where in real life you're going to have water stains like on these windows here as it comes down the corner. I just shoot a nice heavy stream right in there. Let it run down that wall. That'll look natural as heck. Like that. Maybe a little bit under here. I always overdo it on this kind of stuff. That's about it. I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. Now we'll come back in about an hour's time and I'll show you what happened. Then we'll do the other side. Here's a good example of before and after. This is no effect. Did not spray the solution on here. This is just raw cedar. And that's with the vinegar. That's one application. Quite a difference. Okay, it's been about an hour, but two things I probably should tell you at this point. Let's take a quick look here. This is the virgin boards done without any solution on them. And this is with one application of the solution about an hour ago. Now, the thing is, I failed to mention, after you put the steel wool in, you should probably let it sit for a day or so. So that steel wool tends to oxidize in the vinegar, and the coloration becomes permeated in the vinegar. When you spray it on, it'll be a lot darker. So, yeah, you want to let that sit for a day or so. You can't let it sit for too long. I mean, I've had that stuff in there for a week or two at a time, and with no problem. So, anyhow, you do see the difference there. I'm going to let that stuff soak for a while, and we'll give this all another coating or two, and it'll be good. Cool, man. And if you need to do touch-up work, don't want the spray to go everywhere and get on something you don't want colorized, you can use a brush and a bucket. The reason here is I don't want it to get on the door again. It will make it darker, show up as spots. And you don't want to flick this stuff in your eye. Because it is acid. Acetic acid vinegar. Okay, I'm back. It's about 8 hours later. Sun's gone down, and I'm done for the day, so I'm going to be going in. But you can see the difference. This is actually 2 coats. The same day I put the steel wool in there. If I waited a day, it would have been darker with just 1 coat. But nothing on that, but we're going to spray that now. Leave that. I like that color. Yeah, wind blow this back in your face. You better have some goggles or glasses on. You don't want this stuff in your eyes. It's only vinegar, but vinegar is acetic acid. And it will hurt. Pretty much harmless at this concentration. Okay, huh? If you get a little bit of droplet overspray on virgin wood, you're going to see it. You're going to see those drops. It'll be permanent. You don't want that. There's the light spot. Okay. Can't really put too much on, but you can get it where you don't want it. So be cautious about that. And to some degree, the more you put on, the darker it'll get. And put some up there. It's only vinegar. All right, by tomorrow, that side will be this color. If I need to, I can put another coat on. Now, I don't know if it's a coincidence or what, I left pressure in one of these with vinegar in it. I've been using for about 2 weeks, and I went to pump it up one day, give it a couple extra pumps, and the whole mechanism blew up on me. Blew that stuff in my face. So yeah, it was a catastrophic failure. Now I don't know if the mechanism just failed on its own because it's a piece of crap, or did the vinegar have something to do with it? I doubt it, but I wouldn't leave pressure in it if you've done vinegar or anything else. It's not good on the diaphragm or whatever. So I relieved the pressure just like that. Another thing, once you got steel wool in there for a couple days, it will disintegrate a little bit, and you'll have lots of little black pieces of crap in there. And if you move this around too much, I thought it would be a good idea to shake it one time. That's not a good idea, because you get those little pieces of crap in your pickup tube, in your valve, in your nozzle tip, everywhere. You'll have to be taking this apart and blowing it out. So when you buy these, they come with a little filter gizmo on the end of the pickup tube down the side. Make sure you leave that on and don't shake it up. So anyhow, that's that. I hope you like the results, and thanks for watching.